Hey guys, it's me, Captain Norseman, and I'm going to do a very, very long, big video. And as we know, the big news of, Spider-Man and everything with him and his characters joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which has been a big thing. But obviously, the biggest announcement was one of them was that his first appearance in the MCU and debut in a crossover movie and in a movie will be Captain America: Civil War. Now, I wanted to do a video, and I was doing notes all freaking day, about this and everything, about about these two movies, Captain America: Civil War and Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Why they are the top two biggest, most anticipated, you know, not just comic book movies, but movies in general for next year, you know. And I'm gonna go for it. So first, guys, first I'm gonna do the Marvel part of things, the Marvel Studios part and everything for the Marvel fans, and then I will go to the DC fans afterwards. So first we're gonna do Civil War, guys. Let's go through it. For my notes, pretty much this is it. This is one of the few main reasons why there is a good chance that this is going to be, an incredible movie. Obviously, Civil War is looking to be great, but this is one of the main reasons why it's so huge. Obviously, as just to let everyone know, pretty much the movie comes out on May the 6th next year, 2016, just to let everyone know the release date. It will be made by Marvel Studios, and most movies by Marvel Studios are fucking awesome. This is the first movie of Phase 3, and this is going to be the biggest phase ever by the looks of it. The directors are the Russo brothers, who directed the super action-packed thriller and epic blockbuster Marvel's Captain America: Winter Soldier. And also, another factor of it is, as well, they are also going to direct Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2. By the way, somebody's just come in, so hey Ellis.
Hello.
Alright, good, we got Ellis here as well. Ellis, we'll get your thoughts after I just read a few details, and then you can talk about one of the reasons why you think Civil War is such a huge movie. Obviously, after the Russo Bros, we go, Kevin Feige is obviously producing again because he produces every Marvel movie. This is one of the biggest and most unique comic book storylines of all time coming to life on the big screen, so there you go. It's a huge crossover movie. This is Spider-Man's debut and first crossover movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And one more big detail, with Marvel Studios is great consistency at the wide box office and great quality of movies, and with all these big popular superhero names selling the movie, this should be an epic blockbuster and a huge commercial success. So after doing all those details and everything and stuff, Ellis, as you're in here with me, you can say why for you, Civil War is probably in the top two biggest, most anticipated movies next year.
Basically, because it's, well, as you said, it's Spider-Man's debut into the franchise, and that's going to give
Hmm.
it a lot of fame. Maybe a lot of the public are going to go and see it, obviously, because
Mm.
well, yeah, it's just a big movie. Obviously, Baron Zemo in it. He's a very big character in the comics, very
Hmm.
big villain, and well, yeah, it's just going to be it's practically, although it doesn't say Avengers on it, it's kind of an Avengers film.
Yeah, because it's got that crossover formula
Yeah.
to it. So yeah.
Which is why it's going to make as much money as the Avengers films do make, because,
Hmm.
well, yeah, it's practically an Avengers film with Captain America's title on it,
Yep.
and obviously with the characters confirmed. And moving on to what I really think the Russo brothers about, they directed The Winter Soldier. That was one of the probably my favorite film of 2014.
Mm.
So 2016 is looking bright and looking good, and obviously Spider-Man, everything about this film is looking great so far. I cannot wait for it.
All right. Well, basically, I'm going to start now revealing the cast, so me and Ellis can start going in detail about it. So let me go and reveal the official cast and the potential people to be in this cast as well for Civil War. We have Captain America, played by Chris Evans. Iron Man, played by Rob Downey Jr. Black Panther, played by Chadwick Boseman. Spider-Man, at the moment's actor is unknown, but it's either going to be Dylan O'Brien or Logan Lerman, probably. Black Widow, played by Scarlett Johansson. The Winter Soldier, played by Sebastian Stan. The Falcon, played by Anthony Mackie. And Baron Zemo, played by Daniel Brühl. So that is pretty much the official cast so far, and as we can tell, that is a pretty fucking awesome, badass, elite cast. Now, I'm going to go in detail about some of the actors that and characters that could potentially be a part of this. Obviously, Shield may probably be involved in it because it's a crossover, and obviously Shield was really important in Civil War and stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were involved. I could see Nick Fury being involved in it with Samuel Jackson, obviously playing the role. Maria Hill, played by Kobe Smulders. Crossbones is a given. We've heard so many teasers about, and especially after what happened at the end of Winter Soldier, and Frank Grillo would obviously return for the role because he keeps teasing it. Hydra will obviously be in the movie, especially with Baron Zemo being confirmed now. But Baron von Strucker and Hydra are not far behind, especially for Crossbones too. Hawkeye was heavily teased for this movie too. It's just like there's so many characters. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, there's a good chance they could be in it, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen. The Vision, played by Paul Bettany, because remember, Paul Bettany did say, beyond Age of Ultron, there's big plans for his character, and also he's going to be in other movies, so this would be a movie he would probably likely be in. As we know, Evelyn Lilly, who plays the Wasp in the franchise, teased about how she has commitments in 2016 with Marvel Studios. So probably Civil War with her as Wasp and Paul Rudd as Ant-Man involved, because those two go everywhere together, those characters. I'm gonna just put War Machine in there with Don Cheadle just in case he's alive after, because there's a good chance he could be in it, and Hank Pym with Michael Douglas, and many more characters could be also in it. But Ellis, I've just mentioned the cast, the official cast so far, and the potential characters that could be in it. So what do you think so far? I'm going to say my thoughts after it, but what do you think of this cast so far and all the people that potentially could be in it?
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be really good about the cast, and obviously you said about Shield, but obviously knowing about the tweaks to Age of Ultron, I
Hmm.
think Shield will play a different part to it than they did in the comics. That's
Yeah, I
just my
did.
opinion. But again, the cast looking really strong. I'm just glad the Winter Soldier's back. If Crossbones is in it, I'll be really excited because Crossbones is one of my favorite villains. I'd probably be in my top 10. And
Hmm.
Wasp and all that, and Spider-Man. It's just this film is looking so good. It's gonna make so much money.
Yeah. Trust me, guys. Don't be surprised if this makes like a billion, and it will stuff like the Avenger movies usually do. So my thoughts on the cast. I think, as Ellis just said it's a complete elite cast. There's just so many names selling this. Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, Black Widow, all these big names. The Winter Soldier, who was like the breakout star, along with the Falcon. Breakout stars last year. Baron Zemo, and Black Panther, holy shit. And there's just so many other people that, obviously we mentioned about Crossbones and Nick Fury and quite a lot of other people like Ant-Man and Wasp, who would be known to the general public, so when they're in the movie, everyone will be like, holy shit, these guys are awesome. Plus, who knows, I didn't mention him on the list, but as you know, I did say maybe more. That could be like maybe Punisher or somebody else like that, or Daredevil, or maybe someone else. We don't know who they've also got planned to be in the movie, but most of those people are the most likely participants. But yeah, I think the cast is going to be absolutely fantastic, and you know what? I cannot officially wait to see this movie so much. And right before we go to Dawn of Justice, I'm going to ask Ellis to do his final thoughts because we're going to start talking a lot about Dawn of Justice. Ellis, what is your final thoughts now at the moment as we just described the cast, everything to do? What is your thoughts on now this movie at the moment?
Uh, awesome. That's just my final words. It's just gonna be so good to
Hmm.
finally. Well, it's not an Avengers movie as I said, but most of the Avengers and even more of the Avengers that are Avengers to be are going to be in this film. It's just going to be so epic. And as you said about the Punisher, that could happen, which
Hmm.
I know that the Russo brothers did put that Easter egg about Punisher in before. So
Yeah.
if the Punisher is in it, that would be really exciting because he is a badass.
Hmm.
And obviously Daredevil and all that could be in it as well. So yeah, I just can't wait for this film.
Yeah, me too. For me, yeah, I can't wait for this movie. The cast is so good. The directors, everything about this movie just looks. I feel like this could be just, you know, an absolute brilliant film and one of Marvel's greatest movies so far coming. So yeah. But now, before we obviously start talking about, because we're gonna do this right at the end where we talk about what could be better, Dawn of Justice, Civil War. We're gonna go to Dawn of Justice now. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. So we're now going away from Marvel to DC. So from the cinematic universe of Marvel to the DC cinematic universe. So let's go through the details, shall we? Now this is the reason why. Dawn of Justice is in the top two, most anticipated. As we know, I will do the release date. The release date is March the 25th, 2016 for Dawn of Justice next year. It is the second installment of the franchise and DC Comics' first ever crossover movie, meaning it is history in the making. The director is Zack Snyder, who directed Watchmen, Man of Steel, 300, epic blockbuster movies and that looked visually beautiful, and also he will also direct Justice League 1 and 2 coming in the future. Chris Terrio is writing the script and the screenplay and stuff, and he is an Oscar-winning writer after doing Argo and stuff like that. We also have all 7 original Justice League members will be in the movie, and it is pretty much a massive build-up to the Justice League movie, the first Justice League movie in 2017. This will make the DC Cinematic Universe explode into action, and this could be the greatest and most successful DC movie ever so far. And there you go, pretty much. That's all the main details. Ellis, I want to ask you, of all the details I just brought up of Dawn of Justice, before we go into the cast and do detail about that, Ellis, for you, how excited are you for this movie and after all the details I just said?
Um, I'm really excited for this movie. Obviously, it's the we've ever seen Batman and Superman on the big screen together. It's just the general public are gonna absolutely love this film. Man of Steel was good, depending on how you watch it. I took my friends to see it, and they said, "Oh, it's terrible," but they're not really
Comic fans.
Yeah, they're not Batman fans and Superman fans. But I rewatched it, and it was quite long, but it was a really good movie. So
Yeah, I loved it too.
Yeah, Batman v Superman will definitely. It's just gonna smash the box office. The word Batman and Superman are in the same title. This film is gonna be so good. And obviously Zack Snyder's screenwriting with Man of Steel. The fight scenes were immense. Batman and Superman's fight scenes are gonna be really good, depending on how they fight and the locations. Oh, it's just gonna be so good.
All right. Basically, for me, Dawn of Justice is history in the making. This is probably gonna be the highest DC movie grossing movie ever. It's gonna destroy the box office. This is the true massive build up to the Justice League movie. To see the likes of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the other Justice League members in the same movie interacting and stuff like that is unreal. Zack Snyder, who's one of my favorite directors of all time, he does such visually beautiful movies and his action in movies is just incredible. It's just, oh my god, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear the theme from Hans Zimmer. I just can't wait to see so much of this movie and everything. And it is one of those movies where every time you see a trailer or a picture or whatever it is, it just has your heart stops basically. So we're gonna go to the cast now, pretty much, of this movie. Superman, obviously, will be played by Henry Cavill, who did an awesome job in Man of Steel, so this would be his second installment, but now let's get to the rest of the cast. Ben Affleck will be playing Batman, Wonder Woman will be played by Gal Gadot, Lois Lane will be played by Amy Adams for the second time, Jesse Eisenberg will play Lex Luthor for the first time, Martha Kent will be played by Diana Lane, Mercy will be played by Tara Okamoto, Alfred Pennyworth will be played by Jeremy Irons, and obviously small roles like Jason Momoa will play Aquaman for the first time, Ezra Miller will play The Flash, Ray Fisher will play Cyborg. Green Lantern's actor is unknown at the moment, but who knows, that could be Tyrese Gibson, maybe Scoot McNairy. Speaking of Scoot McNairy, him, Holly Hunter, and Callum Murphy are unknown roles so far. And the biggest rumors, to be honest, is in fact Doomsday could be the big threat for this movie. And also, there is a lot of things about this movie. Apparently, there's gonna be a big cliffhanger at the end where Brainiac comes down with an army and it ends like that, leading into Justice League. There's all types of things that we're hearing. So, Ellis, what is your thoughts on this movie? Being a massive build-up to the Justice League movie in 2017, 2 years' time, and also the cast.
Well, as I said, the cast looking very good as well. I am a bit worried that they've thrown quite a lot of superheroes into this movie.
Mm-hmm.
They should have spaced it out at least a bit, but I can see why they're doing it, because the Justice League comes before some of the solo movies, so it would make sense to put some of the origins in this film.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the film's looking very good so far with the cast. What should I say about the cast? Jesse Eisenberg playing Lex Luthor actually sounds pretty good, because he's proved in the past that he can play the smart ass, and that he can do something like that. I can't remember what film it was I watched, but he says some like quotes and he sat at a table with people. And
Was it Now You See Me?
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's proved himself to be Lex Luthor before, so I have no worries with that. And the cast looks very good, so yeah.
All right. For me, the cast, obviously there's a lot of people, who are thinking, because there's a lot of people playing these roles for the first ever time. Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa, Jesse Eisenberg, like loads of them are playing these roles for the first time. The only one that doesn't exactly have that much pressure at all is really Henry Cavill, because we already saw him play the role of Man of Steel, and he was awesome. So everybody else is more like got the pressure, but I think most of them will do well. Most of them are really good actors and stuff like that. And I'm really, really confident, especially in Zack Snyder's vision for the movie and everything like that. So I'm super excited. I can't wait. It's history in the making. And Ellis, your final thoughts before we go into this really interesting thing about, before we say which one do we feel is more anticipated, which one do we feel is going to be better, and which one's going to do better at the box office and, appeal more to the general public. But Ellis, your final thoughts on Dawn of Justice, going into it right now.
Sorry about the casting a minute ago. My parents walked in, so.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
My final thoughts. I would really like to see this film. Maybe, and I am really sorry if anyone disagrees with me, which plenty people will. I maybe want to see this more than Civil War. I do want to see Civil War badly, but I've been waiting for Batman and Superman to be on the big screen together since I was born, and it's finally happening. So I really want to see this film. Basically, to round it all up, this film is going to be really good. And Zack Snyder's look at superheroes, the way he makes them, are very unique films. And this film could be the film of the century.
Mm-hmm. I think Justice League will definitely have something to say about that,
Yeah.
for the future. But yeah, my final thoughts, Dawn of Justice. I'm a big fan of Zack Snyder, and I love his vision for the comic movies. After watching Watchmen, Man of Steel, both epic movies, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do with Dawn of Justice and the two Justice League movies. I really can't wait to see the first ever. I can't wait to see how DC do these crossover movies, because that is one thing I'm incredibly excited for. Cavill said how this is going to be cinematic history, which it will be, and it's visually beautiful, and the movie, and I just can't wait to see how everything goes. And it is true, childhood heroes, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and everything, to see them together finally is just brilliant. But anyway, now we're going to do one more question, and we're going to talk about this. Captain America Civil War versus Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, as they are the top two probably most anticipated movies next year. They're going to be the big boys next year, the top two. For me, obviously, they're going to compete at the box office together. They're going to compete, as movies, and obviously. Now, this is interesting. The thing is, both of them have elite casts. Both of them have big storylines. Both of them are crossover movies. It's, both big franchises. Now, obviously, Ellis, I'm gonna ask you in a minute before, I'm just gonna go first. But I'm gonna ask you what you think. Who do you reckon at the moment looks stronger, and what are you more anticipating and all stuff like that? But I'm gonna go first.
Mm-hmm.
For me, at the moment, I think both movies are incredibly massive. They're both history in the making. They're both super big. They're both unique. They're both build-ups to stuff and everything, and it's great. And they're introducing loads of new characters to the big screen and all types of stuff. Now, for me, I feel obviously at the moment Marvel Studios have an edge because there's a lot more less pressure on them, because with DC there's a lot of pressure because all the characters, who's playing obviously the actors of, all the DC heroes and stuff. This is the first time we're ever seeing it. It's a big risk for DC, but also a big risk for Marvel at the same time. But also another factor is this as well. With Marvel, they also have this brilliant consistency at the box office. They have a consistency of making great, brilliant quality movies. So at the moment, I would say, and obviously the cast, the lineup for Civil War so far, and there's many more to come, looks a lot more, bigger and solid. But Dawn of Justice could also do the same thing. It could absolutely. I think both movies are going to destroy the box office personally, but I think at the moment I am going to just go with Civil War for now. But I think obviously for me with Dawn of Justice, we're going to see that movie first next year, and for me that's probably going to be one of the greatest comic movies ever. and may the war, happen. So for me, I'm going to go with, at the moment, I'm more anticipating Civil War, and I think it may just do a little bit better because of all the big names of Spider-Man and Iron Man and Captain America. And as you said, Ellis, before, there's so many Avenger characters in there and everything to sell the movie, and all loads of characters that loads of people love in the general public. So, Ellis, for you, in this battle of the top two biggest movies, who do you reckon for you is more anticipating, but also who's going to do better at the moment for you?
Right. As I said, Dawn of Justice is the one I want to see more. But the general public, as you said, Marvel have less pressure. The general public will probably go to see Civil War more because, as you said, it has no pressure anymore, or less pressure, because they've had a massive build-up, and you know all the characters, and you know their films are good every time.
Mm.
And with DC, they haven't had the chance to do that yet. Yeah, they've had one chance with Man of Steel, but that's just not enough. And there are going to be a lot of worries for Dawn of Justice because, yeah, if it succeeds, it's going to make loads at the box office. It's Batman and Superman for the first time, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, as I said, Civil War have had more time to sell off the characters to the public, and the public are used to the characters. So if Dawn of Justice get a chance to sell it off first in this film, and then it gets all the good reports, and then all the public go to see it, then yeah, it's going to be a huge success. But obviously, Civil War, everyone's going to go and see it anyway, because it's a Marvel film. So basically, it really depends on who makes more at the box office for me.
Yeah, it does.
We don't know yet. We don't know who. I can't really say who's going to be better, but I could say that the general public will probably go to see the Marvel film more because, they're used to the characters. That's my opinion.
And also, Ellis, to point something out as to your point, the Marvel Studios brand name sells more at the moment as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So yeah, it's just going to be a really damn good
battle.
fight, really. Yeah. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and the thing is, another thing I will say is, because this is the truth. As I said, do you remember when I said that both movies are so unique and they're both build-ups and they're huge and massive crossover movies? The thing about it is, with Dawn of Justice, remember, that movie is a build-up to Justice League, so that's an incredibly unique in its own way. The thing about Civil War is, this is the thing which will really get loads of people being like, holy shit, is, remember, you got heroes versus heroes, also the villains in the background and stuff. Also, like someone like Baron Zemo. So, do you get what I mean? It's so unique because no one's ever seen that before. The same thing with Dawn of Justice. So, it could go either way. And, Ellis, I completely agree on your opinion, where you said about the box office. It is true. That's where the battle really is. Because fans, it's all about perception, really. It's, their opinion of which one's better. But it is true, whoever wins that box office battle will, win on that year. But, Ellis, your final thoughts on how excited you are for Civil War and Dawn of Justice?
I'm really excited for them both, Civil War and Dawn of Justice. I can't really pick which one I'm more excited for. But if it was life or death situation and I had to pick one to see, I would probably go with Dawn of Justice, just because we've seen the Marvel films. And I know the storyline for Civil War, but Batman fighting Superman is really unique, and I just love to see that. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, I just love to see Batman fight Superman for the first time. We've never had a good, well, Dark Knight was alright, but we've never had a seriously amazing cinematic universe for DC.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause this is where it's going to explode into action, so I agree.
This is where it's going to really light the flame for DC. And Marvel, I don't really know which one I'd pick over which, but as I said, they're just both insanely awesome films. I couldn't pick out the two. I can't. I just love them both.
Yeah. I think with me... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
It comes to the point when you're like, Civil War, Dawn of Justice, and you're too scared to see one or the other because you just don't know yet.
But that's good, isn't it? It's good that we've got to that point now with Marvel and DC Cinematic Universes, and now it's so hard to pick both because you're like, holy shit, they're both anticipating so much and exciting. Yeah. That's what I like. I like this competition and everything. The thing with me is, my final thoughts, with like Civil War and Dawn of Justice. I can't wait for both. As you said, Ellis, it's so hard to pick both of them because the quality and everything's gonna be so high. I think with obviously with Dawn of Justice, I can't wait to see the likes of, as I said before, the Trinity, like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman interact. Obviously, yeah, sure, I want to see like them fight like once or something, but mainly I do want to see them like compete, team up, stuff like that in Dawn of Justice and everything, and interact a lot. So I'm just so excited, and to build up because I can't wait to see how they build up to Justice League. That's the main thing I'm really excited for. I just can't fucking wait. So basically, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this live, thank you so much. If you are going to watch this when it's uploaded on my channel, thank you very much. Guys, obviously subscribe. Please subscribe to Ellis' YouTube channel. The link is in the description. Ellis, tell them where else they can find you.
You can follow me on Twitter, Elshamouse. You can follow me on Instagram at OhMyFanos. And if you friend me on Facebook, I'll friend you back.
Okay. Guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter, CaptainNorse93, follow me on Instagram, CaptainNorse93, and subscribe to my channel by hitting that subscribe button. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been a very fun video. Thank you, Ellis, for being here, and we're out. Bye.